Welcome back to Third Phase Moon. Blake Cousins here. We got a special guest, Rex Bear. The Leak Project has reached out to me today in regards to the monolith found in Utah, and we want to get down to the bottom of the mystery. What is it all about? Is it a big hoax, an art display, or is there a major military cover-up? It seems to me that there is a concern. I spoke with the pilot. We all heard the interview earlier today, and he's concerned about people going out there because, you know, they might get hurt. And we're looking at the spot. We're gonna keep the Google coordinates a little bit on the down low because we don't want a massive amount of people showing up there. Right, Rex? What's your thoughts? You're heading out there, but not everybody should do this. It's a dangerous area. Glad to have you on Third Phase of Moon, Rex. How you doing today?
Doing fantastic. Thanks a lot for the opportunity. And what a matrix synchronicity, because the day that I saw this on Third Phase of the Moon, there was some people that sent me some information also. I was in that general area. So what a synchronicity. I'm excited to go back and let's talk about it. I've actually even got the whiteboard behind me here. I've got some different information, you know, whether or not this is actually something from a extraterrestrial spacecraft, whether it's possibly something from the Navy. Could it be something from the Navy? Could it be a new antenna system? But I think that there's a lot of stuff that we can break down here in just a short amount of time.
Well, absolutely. We got about 10 minutes, and let me tell you, we're looking at the coordinates right now. We're looking at Google Earth imagery of the location. We pretty much confirmed it from our anonymous source that we shared his interview the other day on Third Phase Moon, where he explained he saw something fall out of the sky, and there's a cover-up. But we got updates on that coming up. But I wanted to ask Rex about this as we're looking at the coordinates. We're looking at it. Again, it looks like rough terrain. How are you going to get there? What's your plan?
Oh, well, I do have a jetpack that was recently put together. I'm joking. I've got a Rubicon mountain bike. You know, I'm an avid hiker. I live at approximately 7,500 feet elevation. So this is something I do normally. I'm not close. I'm close to the Archuleta Mesa also, which is like 45 minutes from here. That's a major UFO hotspot. The location that I'm at is probably one of the prime destinations for people that are looking for paranormal, extraordinary phenomena. But that area out there, like I was looking at the coordinates as well, because those coordinates are starting to move around, and I was looking at it via Google Earth Pro. And I also cross-referenced several other areas because you remember the DPS came out and said that it was Red Rock Country. Yep. But I looked at it and I thought they said Red Rock County. So I looked up Red Rock County and I looked up a park called Red Rock in St. George. And I looked at that area, and there's similar demographics and landscapes, but also the other location that we're both looking at that is closer to Southeast Utah. That place looks like the spot, actually. Looking at that from the satellite, that definitely could be the spot, in my opinion.
You know, it's interesting to me, Rex, and good luck on the adventure, because it's going to be, a 24-hour process, and you're going to be meeting up with some of our sources that have the on-the-ground information. It's our anonymous source. Remember our caller the other day, he wanted to remain anonymous, but he spoke to me earlier, and he's ready to come out public, and he's going to be hooking up with Rex, and they're going to be a two-man team, and it's kind of interesting. Already, I could reveal the source's name. His name is Corey, and he's pretty brave coming out. And I got to say, Rex and Corey, they're going to take some risk. But let me tell you, we don't urge anybody to go out there. Third Phase of Moon's on top of it. These are public lands, and we should get access allowed. But we wanted to get to the bottom of this. Any speculation, Rex, what this could be from what you've been seeing? Some people say it looks like an artistic representation of the monolith, but people are saying, how did they get it in there? How did they embed it into the rock? I spoke to the pilot. He said it was cut with a concrete saw. You would need, how are you going to plug in a concrete saw in the middle of nowhere? This would be pretty difficult to pull off.
Oh yeah, yeah, it would be extremely difficult to pull off. And thank you for asking. I've actually got the shaman spear from Apollo Astera. I think she talks sometimes on third phase of the moon. She's super cool. So this is what I put together. This is the whiteboard. Okay, it's either Red Rock Country, Red Rock County, or that's in the St. George area. But here's what's interesting, right? Remember how they said they were looking for bighorn sheep? They're like, oh, we're looking for bighorn sheep. Is that a message, dude? Are they calling us sheep? Is this a big hoax? And they're like, oh, you're all a bunch of sheep. Well, I don't know, but I question that, right? I mean, they had to be looking for sheep at the time. Come on, you can't be looking for something else but sheep. Now, if the Navy called, this is what's interesting. If the Navy called DPS and told them to change the story, then the Navy might have something to do with it. Or if the military went and checked it out, and if they didn't know about it, maybe they thought that this was something from China or something from Russia or something from a different nation, possibly, like listening in, like a spy device, right? Or it's great artwork. It's a fan of Space Odyssey 2001. Or it's a diversion. And this is a very real possibility. Now let's talk about this for a minute. If you look at the actual, the monolith itself, it seems to have rivets in it.
That's what we've been hearing. What do you think about those rivets?
I think that that's man-made, because if it's extraterrestrial origins, and if they launched it from space and it shoots down and goes bloop, right? I mean, first of all, that's some pretty powerful technology right there, and they're probably going to 3D print it with metamaterials. It's probably going to be some type of metamaterial. I really doubt there's going to be any rivets.
Well, let me ask you this. Let me ask you if it could have been a military experiment, like some secret Space Force project, or technology that's ours, but reverse engineered, maybe not extraterrestrial in origin, but still the craftsmanship. I'm really hoping we could get a really close look at this, because, we're not seeing rivets. We're not seeing like a Phillips or a flathead per se. We are seeing like indications of these circular indicators that would put the plate of metal together, but they seem inlaid and there's like a surface over it. It would be very skillful to hide the Phillips and the flathead at the same time. We are seeing the circular formation, but when people say rivets, it's still not necessarily proven at this point. Definitely highly engineered, in my opinion.
No, I agree. It could be something behind it. I mean, for all we know, it could be some type of antenna system behind it that's shooting out signals in some type of frequencies. We just don't know. How do we find out? Well, we need to get on scene. I've got measuring equipment. I've got several different EMF detectors. You can see right here. This is a highly sensitive EMF detector, which picks up electronic frequencies up to the 9 gigahertz range. And this thing picks it up. Any type of interference that's electronic, it will pick up, and it'll even turn it into a sound. So you'll hear it chirp, and the more EMF radiation, the more noises it makes. I've also got another EMF detector here that will actually say specifically where it is coming from, and if it's a cell phone tower, if it's a router, if it's your cell phone, if it's Wi-Fi interference. So this is pretty cool. I've got a Geiger counter that it's a very high-end Geiger counter. So if there's any radiation, we'll be able to pick that up. I don't have a magnetometer, but I would like to get one. We've got aerial cameras. We've got, if we can't get to the location for some reason, if it's fenced off, if it's gated off, I've got a camera system right here, which is a Nikon P1000, which has got a 3000 millimeter zoom lens, which will pick up craters, which will pick up stuff inside of craters on the moon. I mean, it's like carrying a telescope around. I've got night vision with me, thanks to my friend Ken over at C60 Purple Power. I've got thermal imaging. I've got access to thermal imaging equipment, which is high-level thermal imaging, because my friend Lee Wilbarger used to invent the stuff with the military. So we've got a lot of stuff to be able to take out there. And I would find it, here's another thing. Check this out. Did you know about the satellite that recently fell on a native land within, I think, a few hundred miles of that area? Are you familiar with that?
Absolutely. We saw the photographs on the ground. Again, they were thinking it could be the Project Loon balloon thing to get the internet to these areas that are having a hard time getting the internet. So they're suspended by these balloons, and it's called Project Loon. And it could have been one of these things. They're able to like stay up in the air. They're up there 5 miles, and they could be up there for like half a year or even longer. It's incredible. I think this is different, but definitely there's strange things falling out of the skies. Let me ask you, what do you expect when you get there? And if there's no blockade, apparently This is public land. You should be able to get there. We urge a lot of people not to go there. It's dangerous, but Rex has a lot of experience, and he should be able to be all right out there. What do you expect if you do come across any kind of opposition to enter the area?
I expect that if it's extraterrestrial origins, that they took it and it's not going to be there. I also think that the footage we're looking at could possibly be something that they put there after the fact. Like maybe they found something and they're like, oops, somebody released this information, so we got to put a prop there real quick. I just don't know. I need to get out there and look at the area, but the GPS coordinates that we have look like a good candidate to go. For me, I'm going to go out there and see what's in the area. And if there's military out there, we should be able to see evidence for that. If they were there, we should be able to talk to locals that tell us about it. Like when China Lake, that situation in China Lake happened, I went out on scene, and the serendipitous events that took place out there, I did a live podcast in the apartment or at the hotel I was staying at in my van in the parking lot. I walked out of the van and this guy goes, "Hey Rex, I was listening to your live podcast." I was like, "Whoa, how's it going?" So we found some stuff out there. I flew over China Lake. You never have permission to fly over China Lake, but we did then because it's usually no fly zone, right? But then it was open because something happened out there. So I've got footage of China Lake after that weird explosion, and they've got these weird patterns out there, buildings and facilities that are like somatics and sacred geometry. It's just bizarre, man. So I think that this is what I think. I think that it's either disinformation, they're trying to create this spin because something else is going on, or I think it's a secret military antenna system of some type. Seismograph, it could be picking up, any planes in the, oh yeah, here's some other information. I've got a friend that knows that area well. There's hazmat. There's a lot of hazmat storage out there, right? So maybe there was something that leaked. Maybe there was a big, maybe there's some radioactive leakage or something toxic.
We'll find out. It's definitely it reminds me of Close Encounters of the Third Kind when they evacuated the town to have this major event with the arrival of the mothership. They had to come up with something that would scare everybody out of town. And some people are saying this is a diversion, but let me tell you, this is going to be exciting. I'm glad Rex from Leak Project is here with us, and he's on the adventure, and we're going to keep everybody updated. It's going to get exciting. We're going to keep it safe. We're going to do the best to bring you the information as it comes in. He's going to be possibly out in the middle of nowhere, Rex, but hopefully he has some reception and we could keep our communication open. But until then, Rex, be safe. We'll talk to you soon. I'm heading over to the Leak Project right now to speak with him. He's got a massive amount of subscriptions. Appreciate it, Rex, being with us right here at Third Phase of Moon, man.
Thank you for the opportunity. It's an honor to speak with you, and I look forward to talking with you again soon.
This is incredible. The collaboration between YouTubers, getting the word out, and the collaboration with people on the ground. Again, Rex is meeting up with our anonymous source. His name is Corey, and they're going to team up, and hopefully we find out what's going on in the desert of Utah. Make sure everybody subscribes because Corey has some amazing information that's coming up real soon. Everybody, be safe out there. Blake Cousins. Keep your eyes on the skies, everybody. We'll see you real soon.